In this lesson, we will see how to measure angles with degrees and also see how to measure angles with radians. At the end of this lesson, we expect that you'll be able to convert from degrees to radians and also convert from radians to degrees. If this is your first time you coming in contact with our channel, please do not hesitate to subscribe to our channel. That way you'll be sure to receive notification anytime we create lessons like this. Hi, welcome. Let's get started with our conversion from radian to degrees. But I want us to see and understand the circle. In this circle, you observe 3 points are very important: the circumference of the circle, the radius of the circle, and the diameter of the circle. Now, but we'll be introducing what we call the radian in a circle. If I have a circle like this, and the circle has 2 radii bounding an arc, from here to here is an arc. If the length of this arc is equal to the length of the radius, we say that the angle here is equal to 1 radian. I come again. If I have 2 radii, one radii here and the other radii here, and I have an arc between these 2 radii, such that the length of this arc is bounded by this. The length of this arc is equal to the radius of this circle. We say that the angle here is equal to 1 radian. Now remember that when calculating the angle of the length of an arc, we say that the length of an arc L is equal to theta over 360 times 2 pi r. If this length is equal to theta over 360 times 2 pi r, and the same length is the same thing as r, then we'll be saying that theta over 360 times 2 pi is equal to 1. This area can cancel this area. Theta over 360 is equal to 1. Remember, the angle in question now is the angle between these 2 radii and is equal to 1 radian. So that I can now cross multiply. I can now have 2 pi times theta, that is my 1 radian, over 360 to be equal to 1. So that my theta now is equal to 360 over 2 pi. So that conveniently, my radian is equal to 360 over 2 pi. Now I have 2 here. 2 here is 1. 2 in 360, that's 180 degrees. So that your 1 radian, at any point in time, you can conveniently state that your 1 radian is equal to 180 over pi. Now let's see how we can now use this to convert from radians to degrees. Now, we'll take 3 examples. Let's take 3 examples. Now, the first example is to convert the following angles in radians to degrees. I have 2.5 radian and to convert it to degrees. Now, remember we said 1 radian now is equal to 180 over pi. If 1 radian is equal to 180 over pi, obviously 2.5 radian will be equal to 180 over pi times 2.5. You can easily use your calculator in this case to multiply 180 by 2.5. So that 180 by 2.5 will be the same thing as, that will be equals to 450 from my calculator over pi. Remember, pi is the same thing as 3.17. That's 450 over 3.14. Now 450 divided by 3.14 That means 2, I can easily conclude that 2.5, my 2.5 radian is the same thing as 143.12 in degrees. Let's see the second question. For the second question, I have 1/3 pi radian to be converted from radians to degrees. Now remember that we have said that 1 radian is equals to 180 over pi. So that 1/3 pi radian will be equals to 180 over pi times pi over 3. Pi goes for pi here, and 3 here is 1. 3 in 180 is 60. So that 1/3 pi radian is the same thing as 60 degrees. Now, I'll advise you pause this video and try your hand on converting 5/2 pi radians to degrees. To convert 5/2 pi radians to degrees, remember we said 180 over pi is equals to 1 radian. So that 180 over pi times 5 pi over 2 will equals, that's pi here is 1, pi here is 1, 2 here is 1, 2 in 180, that's 90. 5 times 90, that's 450 degrees. So that conveniently we can say that 5/2 pi radian is the same thing as 450 degrees. Now let's see how to convert from degrees to radians. Now the same principle we applied and from the same circle, remember we concluded that 1 radian obviously is equals to 180 over pi in degrees. Now let's cross multiply. If you cross multiply, you know that pi is equals to what? 180 degrees. Now 1 degree will obviously be equals to pi over 180. Now as a rule of thumb, or for easy and quick remembrance, this is 1 degree. For easy and quick remembrance, just note it that the conversion from degrees to radians is actually a reversal of the conversion from radians to degrees. How do I mean? From radians to degree, we'll say that 1 radian is equals to 180 over pi. And also, when you are converting from degree back to radian, you say that 1 degree is equals to pi over 180. Let's see some examples. The first example in converting from degrees to radian, we've agreed that 1 degree is equals to pi over 180. Now, if we are converting 30 degrees, we'll say 30 degrees is equals to pi over 180 times 30. 30 here is 1. 30 180 obviously is 6. So that 30 degrees is the same thing as pi over 6 in radians. You can denote it by writing radians in full, or you write it as pi over 6 and put a little c as a note for your radians. Now, I'll pause this video. I want you to pause this video and try to convert 270 degrees to radian. Welcome back. Let's convert 270 degrees to radians. Now remember we said that 1 degree is equals to pi over 180. So that 270 degrees will be equals to pi over 180 times 270 degrees. Now, this is 270. I obviously know that 270 and 180, they are both multiples of 90. so that I can conveniently pick 90 in 270, that's 3, 90 in 180, that's 2. So that's equals to 3 pi over 2. Now, you know how to convert from radians to degrees and from degrees to radians.